The Andromedae Collegium's grand amphitheater hummed with nervous energy from 1,000 different species. The Millennium Problem had stood unsolved for 800 standard cycles, a mathematical paradox that governed faster-than-light travel efficiency. Every great mind in the galaxy had failed. Careers had been destroyed attempting it. Entire civilizations had exhausted their computational resources searching for the answer. Professor Zektheta's crystalline form resonated with barely contained excitement. Distinguished colleagues, today we witness either the greatest triumph or the most spectacular failure in mathematical history. A human has claimed to solve the paradox. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. Humans? The Deathworld species who'd only discovered quantum mathematics 60 years ago? Preposterous. Dr. Sarachin walked onto the stage carrying nothing but a primitive marking stylus. No quantum processors, no neural enhancers, no computational swarm. The assembly's disbelief was palpable. Several delegates activated recording devices, eager to document this embarrassment. The Millennium Paradox, Chen began, her voice steady, asks us to reconcile quantum uncertainty with macroscopic FTL navigation while maintaining causal consistency across reference frames. She turned to the crystalline board and began writing. The Altarian Mathematics Collective's spokesperson chittered dismissively. Child, the greatest minds using quantum supercomputers have. Chen continued writing, seemingly oblivious. Her equations flowed across the board with disturbing fluidity. No hesitation, no corrections, as if she were simply transcribing something obvious. The murmurs died. Tentacles stopped writhing. Even the gaseous nebula consciousness ceased its eternal swirling. You're using base 10 mathematics? Professor Zektheta's voice cracked. Why complicate things? Chen shrugged, still writing. The error everyone makes is assuming the paradox exists. It doesn't. You're solving for the wrong variable. She drew a simple circle, then began filling it with equations that made several species' brains literally hurt. The psionic collective representative clutched his head tendrils in pain. See, you've been treating space-time as fundamental. It's not. It's emergent. Like how water emerges from hydrogen and oxygen. Once you realize that, she connected two equations with a flourish. The paradox dissolves. FTL doesn't violate causality because causality itself is just a local approximation of a deeper pattern. The Vorthan mathematician who'd spent 3 lifetimes on the problem stood up, his forearms shaking. That's impossible. You're suggesting reality itself is just a standing wave in something bigger? Yes. Chun added another line. Humans figured this out accidentally, actually. We call it thinking outside the box. Though I suppose you'd need to understand what a box is first. Physical containers, very useful. We put things in them. She was already deep into her proof, each line building inevitably on the last. Several delegates were frantically checking her work on their devices, their expressions shifting from skepticism to awe to something approaching terror. The really fun part, Chun continued conversationally, is that once you solve this, FTL efficiency goes from 0.3% to about 94%. We could cross the galaxy in days, not centuries. Oh, and time travel becomes trivial, but that's obviously a bad idea. We have movies about why. Stop! The Etherian delegate's psychic shout made everyone flinch. This proof, it's not just correct. It's elegant. How are you doing this? Chun paused, considering. Honestly? Boredom. Earth's been pretty quiet lately. No major wars, no apocalyptic threats. I needed something to do on my lunch breaks. Lunch? Breaks. Zektheta's form flickered erratically. Yeah, I teach high school physics. Teenagers, you know? Between their drama and grading papers, I had about 40 minutes total to work on this. Would have finished sooner, but I kept getting interrupted by staff meetings. The amphitheater erupted. Half the assembly was desperately trying to follow her logic, the other half grappling with the existential horror that humanity's youth educators solved impossible problems for casual entertainment. Chun finished her proof with a small smiley face. There you go. The universe makes sense now. You're welcome. She checked her primitive timepiece. Oh, I need to run. Parent-teacher conferences tonight. Those are the real impossible problems. As she left, whistling something called pop music, the galaxy's greatest minds stared at the board in stunned silence. The Andromedan delegate whispered the question they were all thinking: if their teachers do this for fun, what are their actual geniuses capable of? Nobody wanted to answer that.